Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining me here. I appreciate it. So let's talk all things Foodie Beauty, Nader El Shami, and everybody else in the Go world. I know that Gary is really pouring his heart out right now. I wish the times didn't bump into him being honest. I was watching a bit of what he has to say. And yeah, I'm gonna have to look at that once he is done and over talking, because it's a reality. It's heart wrenching. So I have my own realities to deal with. Still working on my mom's funeral program. Putting in pictures. It's actually very hard when you got to put pictures in, and you are seeing photos that um, tug at your heart, because I haven't seen these photos in a while. So it's very hard. And one thing Foodie Beauty isn't really keen on is realities. She's always wanted to spend things here, there, and everywhere. Hi, Pepsi Lady. Hi, Normiv, Desiree. Hey, Karina, Debbie, Jarella. Thank you, Skinny Queen Reacts, Nancy, Amber R, SH, Maddie Cat, Bada Bing, Bada Boom, Catacorn, Mermaid, Piece of Lebroni Collection, Moesha, Dawn's Hugbox, Nancy, Darlene Pondu, hello, Gemini. We also have Luna's Stove Reflection and Janine T, Katrina C, Blurt Bean and What. Hi there, welcome. Efforts in Thy Name, KK's Corner, and Budabetch. Welcome, everybody. If you want to join me on the panel, don't be shy. Come on up. I'll post the link once more. We also got Sunkis Erica, Bunny Angel, D Rob, Patricia D. Thank you. JB0617. Hello there. Thanks for, being here. Appreciate it. And hey, Amy Judy. Hi there. Yes, send in much love. Thank you so much. And to Gary as well. Yeah, there are a lot of people struggling on this day. Thank you, Nancy. Appreciate it. Thank you, SH. I did watch what happened last night and eating big breakfast. Not much really happened, to be honest with you. She's just wasting people's time, where she does the mundane, everyday things, and you watch her do them, and 1,000 people are watching her. So there you go. Hey, Skinny Queen.
Hey there, how you doing? I decided to come out for a couple of minutes before I head out and just hope everything is going well with you right now. I know you're going through a hard time.
Yeah, yeah. Things are are good. I just gotta cope, keep with it, and do my best.
It's not always easy,
Yeah, it's not.
mm-mm. But keeping busy sometimes is a good thing. So,
Yes, exactly.
um, but yeah, I seen a little bit of her stream earlier. Well, I listened to it while I was doing things. I did hear that plans for moving are put on hold now already. So
Right. Like I said, she like have these harebrained ideas where she'll just start talking about something. It's just content, really. Don't look at it as anything else but just content. So she'll talk about it for a day or two or three, or maybe it'll have some longevity, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a couple months, and then all of a sudden it'll just disappear into the
I
nether
feel
realms.
like she is oh gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? Well, yeah, I do feel like some of it's just to talk about something,
Yeah,
and then some of it is like you said, it pops in her mind right away and without thinking of
yeah,
everything, and she just like verbal diarrhea.
pretty much what it is.
Yes.
All right, we got Doi Cookie in the back. We're gonna add you right now. If you want to turn off your cam, Doi Cookie, go ahead. Yeah, like I said, she was never gonna move when she said it yesterday. I was like, yeah, it's not gonna happen. Thank you, Seal. I appreciate this. All right, how you doing, Cookie? What's up?
Oh, I'm good. Can you hear me?
Hi,
Yeah, we
Cookie.
can hear you.
Hi. Is there echo or anything?
No.
Mm-mm.
Good, good, good. Oh, sorry, I'm in my camera. What am I doing? That way. There we are. You've got me in my
I
early
do that
glory.
too sometimes. It's hard to see where it's at.
Yeah, like I'm like, it's back to front and mirrored and it's weird. Hi, how's everyone going? It's very early morning for me. I was up doing my food prep. So yeah.
Nice.
And now I'm all finished and I can relax for a little bit.
Okay, awesome. So, I gotta ask you, what do you think about Foodie Beauty posting you like 2 days ago?
Posting?
You didn't
What?
know that? Yeah, she posted your image on her community tab.
Sure did.
Oh, sorry, I wasn't obsessed that day. I must have been busy living my life.
Yeah, I guess so.
No, I had no
That you
idea.
just
Tell
you
me.
just didn't notice. Yeah, she posted it. She kept it up for a few hours
What
and then she deleted it.
what did she what did tell me more? What did she say?
The same usual bashing of people's that she usually does. You know what? I can grab it.
Yeah.
I do have it,
Interested.
so you can have an idea of the shit that she was saying.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Was she saying I'm old, fat,
yeah, you know the
ugly,
typical.
bored?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm. No,
She's
honey.
just salty because we were on panel talking,
Yeah.
yeah,
discussing.
and it's
Yeah.
not like it's like all bad stuff. It's like we're giving her proper advice, and what does she do? She turns around and attacks, attacks, attacks.
No. Yeah. Ask my husband how ugly I am. That's all I'm gonna say. The man
You
who
are
keeps
not ugly. You're a
around.
very beautiful woman.
And even
Yes.
if I wasn't, it doesn't matter. Like it doesn't matter what I look like. It's the things I say and do that count. And I can honestly say that I live my life a way that I'm satisfied with, and the people around me enjoy me. And that's all I can ask for.
And that's what I'm saying too, though, is that who you are makes you beautiful as well.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the important thing.
Obviously something I said like, oh, a little thorn, something's pricked, something's hit a little nerve. Oh well.
Yeah, so she's having this habit. What she likes to do is put up like the worst pictures, photos of people, and then just talk mad shit about them. That's literally what she likes to do.
And she doesn't even realize that this is my home stuff, right? I come on,
Yeah.
I'm done up, I don't have my makeup on, and I'm still willing to show all my stuff, right?
Yeah.
When I walk out the door and I go to my job, my hair is done, my face is on, I smell good, I'm neat, I'm clean, I'm tidy, because that's my professional face, right?
Hmm.
And
So here,
that's part of my self-care, right?
yeah.
Oh,
So here
she's
it is,
been
though, a
me.
cookie. So this is what she did. She said,
Okay.
"I'm so over being judged by these types of people. These weirdos are obsessed. You go away. Fuck. Brides of Frankensteins."
The thing is, I don't even look bad there.
Yeah, I don't see what is she talking about, right? And she makes sure to get like the best, the no, not the best, the worst. She tries to get the worst photos of the worst expressions, and then she'll put it up, and then she'll delete it.
The
Typical
thing is,
behavior,
to even remotely look similar to what I look like there, she has to have 16 filters on. That's my face. That is what I look like.
right?
Like, I don't hide anything. I have no need to because I'm not that insecure. Ah, well, let's move on and talk about fun stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So what is there to talk about?
I had my little date,
Oh, okay.
had a little bit too much to drink.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically that hobo hiccuping walking down the street, but I had such a lovely time. I saw my best friend and my husband and we had a great time. So, living my life, not a bored, obsessed person.
Okay, that's awesome. That's
Yeah.
good for you. Yeah,
Uh,
I'm so sorry like she did that to you. It seems
ah,
what I
I
have
know.
to tell people is that these are beware everybody that Foodie Beauty is clipping or like screenshotting the panel because she doesn't like what we're saying on here and then posting pictures on her community tab. And then she turns around and says people are shaming her.
Yeah. It's what I don't have any value in anything she says. So her opinion about me and showing my picture and stuff is like blah blah blah. People, it just makes her look nuttier. It doesn't hurt me. It hurts her.
Right.
And
She also said that she's not going to rage anymore, you guys. She's just not going to do it.
Yeah,
No.
just like she's not going to eat fast food, and somebody reminded, she's like, I just don't want it. And somebody's like, you just ate it yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, she has all these declarations. And by the way, you're all beautiful. And Monty, I've been thinking about you constantly. You and your mom and your family, you're just in all of our hearts and prayers.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to let you know that. And ladies, it almost like, were you guys the ones that she's going after? Are they ex-Vibs?
Just
I think-
anybody
Yeah.
that says anything she doesn't like.
She
It could
just
be good
seems to-
advice or bad advice or just talking. She'll just attack.
She just seems to me to really go after. She has this sixth sense that if you ever watch her videos, that you're supposed to have this loyalty to her, that you can't have a brain of your own, you can't come up with your own opinions or thoughts, that you're a bad person. I mean, that's why she blocks people all the time.
Right.
Yeah, and even in her life, she has nobody in her life because she doesn't want to hear anything. So even her mother and her sister, she only sees them when she needs something from them. Yeah, she's just a shitty person. She just really is.
I used to hate when I'd go in her chat and she'd be on there raging about Natter. And then, like, hours later, so she'd get everybody fired up, get everybody, like, well, I never liked them, but she'd get everybody, like, turning on them and talking crap. And then, like, hours later or the next day, people would come in with that same energy, but she would make up with them.
Mhm.
She'd be like,
know what goes on behind
nobody,
the scenes,
nobody can say anything about them. I don't want to hear about them. Don't talk about them. Don't do this. And it's like, you cannot control people's emotions. Who do you think you are?
But imagine living with that kind of energy. Like, you just don't know what energy you're going to get on any given day. The inconsistency, like, you literally would be walking on eggshells. Because you wouldn't know how am I supposed to gauge you today? Are we in a good mood? Are we in a bad mood?
Right.
Get back. Like, what do I do?
Hence why she has nobody. I mean, the only person is Pete's, but even he, like, locks himself in his room half the time. More than half the time. She has to be so draining to be around. I mean, she's draining just to watch. So I can't even imagine having her in your life.
Right. Right. It is an emotional roller coaster. And
Yeah, exactly.
thank God I got off for good.
I think there's people launching themselves off while the roller coaster's still going. They're not even waiting for it to break at this point.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, no, now. I need to get off. Yeah.
But even her chat is, like, toxic. Like, the fighting that goes on in there. Then there's people in her chat that follow each other, like, on other channels, and they're like picking on each other. It's just, all of it is toxic. Like,
like attracts like.
Yep. And then she, like, gets upset. I don't want fighting in my chat. Well, you did it. You created all of this.
Yeah, like the channel owner is the one that creates the atmosphere. That's why my atmosphere is literally the opposite of hers. Because, you know, she created the atmosphere where, like Skinny Queen says, you never know what behavior, attitude she's gonna come in with, what mood. And we've noticed that for such a long time. Early last year, like, one day she's upset with him, the other day she loves him. And if you come in with, like, the wrong, or say the wrong things, then she blocks you, she tells you off, she swears at you, and then the next day you could be unblocked. And then you come in with, like, the opposite of what you came in before, then she blocks you again because now she's on the other side of that. It's like, it's exhausting. How can you live your life like that? Never.
I remember when she was in Hamilton, when she got really drunk after she'd done the photo shoot with what's her face, and she was literally sitting there crying, going, "But he's a good person." Like, she was begging us to believe it, but I think she was actually self to believe it. Like, he is a good person. He's a good person, and that's why I love him. It's not because he's a bag of shit. It's because he's a good person underneath it all. But when you have to tunnel through 15 layers of shit to get to the one speck of goodness, you're covered in shit. Like, she's holding on to this grain of hope that he's a good person or he's got something good underneath. But she keeps going. It's like, I don't know why she wants to keep going back. What's the
She's kind of sticking up for him today too.
Yes, she was. Yep.
Saying that he wasn't that bad on that panel, you know. I'm like, whatever.
I think they're texting. I really do.
Oh.
I think, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, for
She
sure.
loves him again. And we saw when she called him the other day, he went in private to take that phone call. And then when Dee Dee was like yelling, he was telling Dee Dee to be quiet. He is still using her, and she just doesn't get it. She doesn't get it.
This is where the apartment talks come from.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Nader. It's all about him. It's all about creating a little bubble for them, away from Dee Dee, away from Pete, because Pete can't be in the picture, but close enough so he can be there on hand. That's the arrangement. She wants to live with Pete because he's her butler and he can carry the stuff and fetch the things and do this and do that. But she needs the walls because Nader needs to have his space and Chantal needs to be. She's creating the little love bubble for them both.
Can I say something real quick? I'm sorry. I gotta jump off. I'm sorry. I gotta jump off. Thank you for having me up. Thank you, ladies, too. I hope you guys have a good panel. Will you be on later, Monty?
Yeah, I will be. I'm still working on the stuff I need to work on, but I will be on later. Yes.
Okay, and then if I could ask you guys, if you guys could say like a prayer or send positive vibes to my mom because she's in the hospital, I'd appreciate it so much.
Sure.
Absolutely, yeah.
Positive
All right.
vibe. Just kidding. Queen reacts, mom. Yeah.
Thank you
Have a
so
good
much.
one.
See y'all later.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Can we get some hearts in the chat, everybody? Let's spread some positive vibes, cheer, and love.
This is for you, Chantal.
Queen's mom, because I know it's hard out there.
Yes.
A lot is happening. A lot of people unfortunately got sick and passed away because of COVID. There's just so much going on in the world. So please, if the least you could do is maybe send thoughts and prayers, positive thoughts and prayers for her, so that her mom can get through whatever her mom's going through.
Well, that's a shame.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it just hurts your heart when you hear about a parent, even when you're always little in your parents' eyes, so they don't want you to look after them because they're supposed to be you. It's hard.
Exactly.
It's hard role reversal, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah,
the world is a mess.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much, everybody. I appreciate this. Thank you so much.
Now, before I was on here and I was doing stuff, I was watching Gary's live.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if you guys have been in contact, Monty, but has he mentioned or asked for help from you regarding that? Because I find it's just it's distressing and he's so upset.
No, I actually don't have a good gist of the situation. All I know that he's contemplating getting rid of his channel because it's coinciding with his disability.
I think he said he's going to have to demonetize.
Yeah.
But
it's
content. Yeah.
It's super messed up in America. We really, have to revisit. But, I just, the one thing I'll say, because I did watch it, your heart just breaks for him because it's just genuine. Like, he's just so genuine. Monty, you're the same way. Like, this is like why we love you people. Like, you're genuine. You put it out there. You tell us the truth. Nobody wants people to be perfect. We just want people to be honest. Like, just be honest and show your vulnerability. And, that's all people want.
And it's just a stark contrast. He's fighting for his life. He's fighting for his mental health, his physical health, his fiance, his pets, his living conditions.
Yeah.
He's fighting so hard to maintain the life he's created for himself because he has to pay for it. He has to take out of pocket to maintain that. Whereas on the flip side, we've got an idiot over in Canada who's got all the resources in the world, plus she's able to use her YouTube money to fund her life. She doesn't give a shit. And this man is fighting to be his own hero to save himself. It just, it
Yeah.
enraged me. It's so unfair.
Yeah, it's tough. And he's bringing to light what is a problem for millions of Americans. I mean, health insurance, we have to pay for it. If you're not employed, you have to pay for your health insurance, and it's not cheap. And especially, when you're in your 40s, 50s or older, that's when medical issues start happening. And, my heart just breaks for him. It really does.
Yeah.
It really
That's
home
really
for healthcare.
sucks.
It's just
Yeah, I see some other people making suggestions, maybe putting his channel in somebody else's name. I guess I'm gonna have to speak to him about that because I think it's more of a private conversation that I have rather than make suggestions out there because I don't want to be saying stuff out of my ass. So I really I feel for him because at any moment, YouTube can get rid of your channel. You got to be so careful of what you do and what you say. So I totally get it. And whatnot.
People are gonna leave because the memberships aren't there. It's like we don't come for the memberships; we come for Gary.
Yeah, exactly. You come for his content.
Bonus. It's not. It's. I would be sad to see him go, and I'd be sad to see him. It affect him in a way further with his mental health stuff. Like it's almost he's had a victory. His channel's going well, and then the world comes along and kicks you in the guts, and then that hits your depression, and that triggers anxiety. And I'd hate to see him go backwards because something precious is taken away. It's not fair. It's not right.
Exactly. So yeah, I'm gonna have a conversation with him, and hopefully we can get somewhere.
Oh, so let's lighten the mood and talk about Chantal's genius skids idea with her Spanx, her business, her entrepreneurship. I don't know what she thinks the Spanx do for her, but I know they don't defy gravity. They are not gravity defying Spanx. They may smooth things over, but at her weight, with the extra she's got on there, it cannot lift and separate the way she thinks it does.
Well, she's not going to do anything. She's just all talk. Hell will freeze over before we get any kind of merch or anything from her.
She could be making so much bank though, like literally be making so much money from. Even the haters would buy it just to have it.
Yeah, but it entails work, and she can't do it.
Yeah. And then we all just go out and do our jobs and live our lives, but we're failures, we're big losers.
Yeah, it's like she can go so far with the backing that she has. Like she can change so much, do so much for her family rather than her family doing so much for her, but yet she just does nothing.
And it's passive income. It sits there and it does itself when you set it up correctly.
Yeah, exactly. So why is she not doing what she should be doing? It's like it's so puzzling.
2 or 3 days of really hard work, she could be it would almost meet and measure her memberships. It would make up for the membership she blocks and loses and can't retain.
Yeah, exactly.
She has no business brain. She has no business brain whatsoever. She has no acumen. Oh, when she said, I'm a successful businesswoman, I spat out my coffee. I'm like, what's the business? Since when? Who, when, what? What's going on? Because that was the funniest thing she said all day yesterday. I'm a successful businesswoman. What? Where?
Yeah, ridiculous. Extremely ridiculous what she's doing and what she's saying. Yeah, nothing will ever come of that.
It's
Just
the
like
beast.
how just like how I thought. Yeah, just
I
like how
forgot
I
all about the visa show.
hmm
Is she going after Gary? I knew she would. She really is a
She is?
that's
Now,
what somebody said in the chat.
OMG, like that's just vile.
Well, she went after you, Monty. Like this woman has no content. So this is what I mean. She's so boring without Natter, and she knows it. So she's stirring up. She's unbelievable. She really is.
Yeah, and she did make snarky remarks here and there, talking about West Virginia, talking about inbred and other things. Like I heard it just like 2 hours ago, not even an hour and a half ago,
Yeah.
and here she comes back with it once again. Gloating, proud of herself that she feels as if she's gotten rid of another reaction channel, because that's what she likes to do, is
I
get rid of
also
reaction channels.
I also think that this is another indicator that she's talking to Natter, because when she's on Team Natter, she defends him and she always goes after Gary because Natter cannot stand Gary. So I think that's another indicator. They're texting. They are absolutely in contact.
For sure. Exactly. Speaking of other things, I got an email that I can qualify for a YouTube manager. I wonder if that's going to be a positive or a negative. Should I apply or should I say no?
I don't know about that, so I'm not the person to ask.
I would look into it. I mean, if they can manage you in a way that can get you out there more, why not?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, but oh, okay. You know what? Let's do a vote. Should I apply for this YouTube to have a YouTube manager? I think we'll hear from the community and see what everybody's saying. All right, so let me do this. Give me a second, everybody. About continue your conversation.
You, okay, so, flippity floppity Chantel's back. 1 minute she hates Hello Fresh. She's made 2 meals and she loves it again. Oh, I love it. It's so easy. It's so fresh. It's so good. And she's like, oh, I hate that shit. Literally 2 days ago. Can't wait to it.
I know. She's trying to be healthy. It hasn't even been 24 hours. This is what she does. This is exactly what she does every time. And they say in the chat she's raging again.
Oh, God. She's probably offered him up the idea of the apartment. He went, oh, that'll be great for you. And she's like, no, it's for us so we can be together. And he's like, nah, I'm with Daddy.
Mm-hmm.
And what does she keep saying? She keeps saying she's an empath. Well, where's the empathy for Gary?
Yeah, 0, right? But
Straight
all she's been displaying is the cruelty that she has in her heart.
She's cruel. She's cruel. She loves it.
Yeah, exactly.
Loves to dig and hit those horrible, the most pointed parts. Like she's going off about his sensitive situation at the worst time. She went directly after you when your mother passed away, and then she's retracted that with that ridiculous apology. I didn't know. Well, that's why you don't blurt shit out. That's why you sit back and think and find stuff out, so you don't have to be apologizing and retracting and looking like an idiot all the time.
Exactly.
And she's 38 and she doesn't still understand how filtering yourself works.
Mm-hmm.
You'd learn that in therapy.
Yeah, she refuses to go. She said it won't work for her.
Because she's unique. She's special. She's different.
Oh, so YTR says, Monty, most YouTubers say they take too much a cut and tell someone to change a lot of their content and style. Okay, so then it's a big no for me then if they're gonna take money off to help me. Like, no way. Why would I do that? I'm not gonna. I need all the funds I can get. YouTube, you know how much money YouTube makes a year off of content creators? Why do you need more money? All right, YTR.
Matches would get a cut of the YouTube cut.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you would think. But if they're gonna cut into my income, then no way.
Ooh.
So now I got to work harder for a company who already makes billions a year. Like, make that make sense.
Oh my goodness. You'd think upping your revenue would up
Hmm.
their cut, which would cover the cost of a manager. So increasing everybody's value would be within their benefit, not to steal
Exactly.
create a double dip.
Yeah.
Double dipping.
Ridiculous.
Okay, yeah. Let's do that. Let's make it harder.
She's raging again. You think she's mad? Yeah, whatever. We tell too much truth
Nah.
out here, and she knows it. She's mad because the truth is being told. And guess
Okay.
what? We don't even have to go after her looks or anything. We just talk about who she is.
Exactly. If you guys are not understand what's going on with Gary, I would suggest you watch his latest live stream. It's still going
Mm,
on, but the gist
yeah.
of it is based on that he gets benefits. He will have to demonetize his channel because you can only make a certain amount before your benefits get cut off. Because they will be saying you make too much over the certain
Mm.
threshold, whatever threshold they have. So it's a very unfortunate circumstance
Mm.
that Gary is in. I did see YTR for a second in the back. YTR, if you want to come back, I'll put the link out again. So
And
watch. Yeah.
Gary doesn't want to rely on the YouTube money because if the YouTube
Uh
money goes away, his benefits will already be gone and he needs those benefits to pay
exactly.
for healthcare. So he's in a very tight circle there.
I
He
think
can't afford to lose his disability. He just can't for his own life. It's saving his life.
I would think he's doing the best play to keep his benefits
Hmm.
and do that
Yeah.
rather than YouTube because YouTube could be gone tomorrow. Once your
Yeah.
benefits are gone, you got to reapply and you got to
Mm.
go through all that mess. Doesn't it take like a long time to even get them back?
It does.
Mm.
It's a long time even to get them. You got to, especially mental health. It's
Yeah.
very hard to get on disability for mental health.
Mm.
Very
It's all
hard. So,
reassessments and everything is just a minefield of red tape.
yeah.
Hey, is
Mm.
my audio okay, Monty?
Yes, your audio is fine.
Okay, I'm not used to doing my phone in the earpods, but I wanted to say I'm not telling you what to choose, of course, but I have watched videos about YouTubers choosing managers, and some of them did regret it because once you sign the contract, if you're not happy, you still cannot leave until your contract wears out. They do take a cut, and you know, of course, that YouTube already takes your 30% out. So if
Yeah.
you get a manager, then you're kind of stuck in a way. It is something, obviously, if you want to try, look into, but definitely beware and maybe watch some YouTube videos because I had no idea. I was just watching a creator I liked that had that issue. So that's how I ended up even finding out about that.
Okay. All right. Well, that's
But
good to know.
yeah.
Before I took the dip, thanks
Yeah.
for telling me that I could have had
Yeah,
like a
no
major
problem.
pitfall there with them changing up my
Yeah.
stuff and telling me what to do, and then being in a contract that
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I mean, I don't know, maybe some aren't as bossy, but from what I've heard, it doesn't sound too good.
Well, the
And
other question
so,
would be, would I get a manager for a specific channel or is it for my entirety of my different channels? I wonder what
it
that would
depends.
be about.
Well, you would have to ask, but are they linked together or
Right?
do they have completely
I
different emails? That would probably vary, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, I
You
just
would
got an
have to ask
email from
them, of
my
course.
yeah, I got an email from my main channel.
Oh,
So,
okay.
I don't think it applies to my other ones because
Mm.
I wouldn't
yeah.
think so.
Hmm.
In all honesty, though, Monty, you seem to have a pretty good grasp of how the back end of this all works and the
Hmm.
the finite parts of YouTube. So I don't know what much more a manager could possibly do for you other than suggest other content that's not really
My
maybe
Right.
more.
forte, yeah,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
what I want to do.
and really with YouTube, it's all growing in experience. Like even if you do change, it's gonna be your style for the better. Kind of like obviously from when you start to how you are now. You know, sure, have things change a little bit. Mostly just how you run the channel. You just know more about how to run it, right? But you stay true to yourself. So yeah, I'd agree with that sentiment.
Yeah,
Who said
exactly.
that? Died? I don't know. I'm walking home.
Yeah.
I was at the
Yeah, no
pool, so if
worries.
you hear
Yeah.
squeaky sandals, I don't think it'll pick it up, but if you do, that's my flip flops.
That's one of my favorite sounds. Squeaky sandals from the pool.
Yeah.
Raging about her
Yeah,
weight.
and I
Okay.
was watching Gary's thing, and he did say he's going to keep his channel. He just has to demonetize it, because here's the thing with disability, it's not really just about the money, it's more like all his stuff is tied together. So he's on disability, but also they have his healthcare set up, they have his doctors, and it's more about the stability of what he has
Mhm.
going on, not
Mhm.
worth losing. And I understand that. I'm not on it, but my sister was a case manager, so she knew a lot about how that works.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it makes sense that he might have to make that decision, because it's not worth. Every state's different what they can make, and it does vary on what type of disabilities you have, but the cap is really small. Like, you can't make hardly anything when you have those things. But he'll
Mhm.
be here. He said he's not going anywhere, and he's
Yeah.
gonna have his uh, Amazon wish list, and
Exactly.
he's gonna have ways people can gift him, because
Yeah, and
that's
he
all
still has
allowed.
us. Yeah, he still has
Yeah,
us. We're his support system. I'm gonna still support him, be here for him.
Mhm.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think it's smart to do what he's doing, because he has a whole life and a family. Like,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah.
You cannot mess around. This is a Foodie
Hmm.
Beauty's reality where she short her rent money so she can ask her mommy for money. Some of us don't have our
Yeah,
moms anymore, or fathers,
exactly.
or
And
sister, or
well, some
brother.
of it, I mean, my parents are poor. I can't ask them for shit anyways, even though I love them and I have them. You know, and
And some
YouTube,
of
it
us,
varies what you make and everything. He
and some,
can't gauge how it's going to be every month.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah, and some of us are decent human beings and wouldn't ask our parents to pay for us when we're grown ass adults. Just saying.
Making
right,
fifty
that too.
dollars a month.
You know,
Yeah.
my mom's tried to give, like, she always is trying to give me money. And I'm like, put your money away. Like, that is not your job anymore. I'm a grown woman. I don't need your money. Stop.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's somebody taking their mental health seriously, like
Oh,
seriously.
for sure. I
Like
think
he's
it's a good thing.
yeah. No.
And I don't know why anyone would be mad, because he's literally making the channel free. Like, people can still gift him whatever they want,
Mm.
but I don't see why. You could tell it's bothering him. You can tell it's weighing on his mind, that he
Yeah.
feels bad about it, but it's nothing to feel bad about, I don't think.
I think what happened was his channel grew fast, quickly, and he did not think that was going to happen.
Hmm.
It's like a mixed blessing. You go into it and, thinking, okay, I'll do this on the side. I won't make much. Because I think on disability, you can make a certain amount. Once you exceed that certain amount, that's when they take it away. And I don't think he
Right.
ever thought he would be this successful. But you
Mhm.
are, Gary. Everybody loves you. You're wonderful.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean,
exactly.
that's exactly how he put it too. He really didn't. He had no idea it would get this big so quickly.
Mm.
Excuse me.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think he's more worried that people are going to go. Like they're just not going to be there anymore. And yeah.
Mm. I don't know
No.
why anyone
A
would
big
leave
hug and
over
please and
demonetization.
just make it's okay. You're going to be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a big hug to Gary.
Yeah.
Seems it's been a
Yeah.
shitty day. For me, I'm gonna do a moment of silence around 6:30 because it's gonna mark a week that my mom passed away. So
Okay.
it's gonna be very hard for me
Mm.
I'm so
because
sorry.
reality hasn't sunk in yet.
Yeah.
Especially all the plans that we had, and I
Mm.
wanted my mom to travel the world, and she didn't really get to see much.
Well,
Oh,
you
I'm
can travel it.
sorry.
You can show it to her. She'll follow you and see what you're doing.
That's right. You'll take her with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Oh.
I'm just gonna step away for a minute, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's so. I can't imagine what you're going through, really.
Yeah. Thanks,
I'm
everybody.
sorry, Monty. It really sucks. I wish no one ever had to lose a parent. Like, group hugs, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. I appreciate it.
And just thank you for being so vulnerable and open to us. Like, this is what connects us all to each other. It really does, because, we all have parents. We all know.
Yeah. Yeah, mine are getting old. I'm getting scared. Not gonna lie, I'm getting scared. They still have time, but it's like, it's a reality that people have to face. If your parents sick or if your parents are older, it's something that does come to your mind. So
Yeah. We also have Debbie. Her mom is having surgery tomorrow, so she'd like to have some positive vibes and prayers sent to her. So if people could do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody's got anyone sick or struggling or just not having a bad day, how about we just see if we can find a kind word to a stranger today, or somebody who's looking a bit down? Just give them a smile, give them a wink, give out that good energy, because you just don't know what everybody's going through from day to day. We put on a mask, and sometimes that can just make someone feel really, really good. Just a smile or a nice friendly face is enough to get you through. So let's give everyone some good energy today.
Yeah,
You are so
exactly.
right. You are so right. I remember this year, my son, who's 15, one of his classmates, who was a friend of his, took his life, and my son had been in class with him the day before, and my son was like, "Mom," he was laughing, and we were making jokes, and I said exactly that to him. I said, "This is why we have to be kind to people, because you never know what somebody is going through in their own personal head. And, it is a lesson, like, be kind. It's not that hard to be kind."
Yeah, I was in an accident earlier this week. Luckily, it was minor. It was very minor and I had full coverage. But of course, I was mad because it was like I got hit. But once it all set in, I was like, you know what? I didn't get hurt. They didn't get hurt. We're fine. Could have been a lot worse. I know a lot of people going through a lot worse stuff right now. So I'm just, you never know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm just grateful. That's all it was. But it's, it shakes you up a little bit because it makes you think,
Yeah, it does.
Is anybody still watching Foodie Beauty? Did she calm down already after being another day of being a horrible person?
Yeah, and she's complaining that we're fat shaming. Nobody has said anything about her being overweight at all. And really, that's not that we're concerned that, she's unhealthy in everything she does. And, I think we're just saying, like, you've got to do, you're 38, you got to start changing things. And she just doesn't seem, she talks the talk, but there's nothing. I mean, didn't she say a week ago she had to go to the hospital? Hasn't gone. She can't walk. You see her knees and her hips. She's in pain. She's in a lot of pain. Yeah.
Yeah, she is.
I know for a fact how she physically feels. So I don't know if anybody knows my story or anybody knows, but about a year and a half ago, I went and I started planning this about 2.5 years ago, because of the private healthcare cost and everything. I had weight loss surgery. I had a omega bypass, so I've had my stomach sectioned, right? And I've lost 135 pounds in that time, and I've still got some to go. And I have had mental health history. I've had a bad health history, but physically I know how she's feeling right now, because I am 5'3". I'm only 3 inches taller than she is, nearly 4 inches. I was 20 kilos, 20 pounds lower than what she is now. And I can tell you now, my motivation is because I was shuffling around my home like an 80-year-old with bad health, because there are fit and wonderful 80-year-olds out there. My knees hurt, my hips hurt, my ankles hurt. I had no stamina. I was cranky. I was sad. I was depressed. I was end my life depressed. And I took a hold of my mental health. I've been doing that for a while, but I've changed my body physically and I'm a totally different person. But I did not allow myself to just sit in my misery and sit in my mental health disorder. I took the bull by the horns and sorted myself out, because I could see myself heading down that same road as Chantal if I didn't. But physically, she is uncomfortable. She's heavy. She's bloated. She's refluxy. She's in all sorts of discomfort. And for her to sit there and say, I love my fat body, is a lie. She's lying because she does not feel good.
Well,
She
you know
just
what's
doesn't
sad
want
to
to
me?
face anything.
Yeah,
She
and
doesn't
what's
want to
sad
face
to
the
me is
truth.
I've heard her say, well, I don't want to live if I can't eat this food, or I don't want to, what's life if I can't smoke, have my weed. That's really sad. I mean, as that you, like, that you're only living to smoke weed and eat. I mean, that's really sad. Like, maybe you need to look into that, because that's not normal.
No, she would not be. She would need to get treatment for her binge eating disorder before she could even be considered for the weight loss surgery, because you have to do a lot of it. And I even struggled, and I had the help afterwards. You actually have the thoughts, was this all worth it? Because you can't eat a chicken breast. If you want some texture, you can't eat it for about weeks. Like, you're literally retraining your brain to eat small and eat soft and eat slowly. That, and she could never, the way she is now, she would have to do some massive changes, because the way she eats, how she eats, when she decides to eat, is nothing to do with how physically hungry she is. It's all about how she's emotionally feeling, and the robotic, just chewing all day long, just gnawing on stuff. It's because
we've seen her eat all day before on live.
She said it took her an hour to fill up. It takes your body 20 minutes and your brain 20 minutes when you've got receptors, to say, I'm full. Even if you eat quickly, and when you overeat, if you keep eating beyond that, that's when you get that really horrible, heavy, bloated feeling, like, oh, I'm so full. That's because the time has caught up. Your brain has caught up with your physical body. She said she ate nonstop for an hour.
Well, what infuriates me, and I know I'm not the only one to feel this way, because I struggle with my weight. I've also been on a health journey. I've lost 85 pounds. I would never belittle somebody for being overweight or even morbidly obese. I get it. We all get it. What gets me is you are making us look bad, because you are stereotyping obese women. She's on there eating constantly. She's acting the fool. She's lazy. That's what infuriates me. And then she's trying to gaslight us into saying, I'm losing weight. Sweetie, no, it's impossible. You cannot be losing weight with the food you're eating. There's no way.
Well, and the trolls tell her she looks thinner, but they're trolling her because they want her to keep doing the destructive stuff that she's doing. They don't mean it. At least I don't think so, unless they think in the filters she looks like it. But
no, no.
I think for the most part they're telling her that because it's what she want to hear.
No. See, this is the contradiction. She's so in love with her bigger form and all the glory that it is. And I actually think large bodies can be beautiful. I think they are beautiful. The roundness, the curves, the softness, the texture, it's all beautiful. But Chantal has so many issues going on with her skin, the color, all that she needs filters from top to bottom. And she says she's so in love with the way she looks and her appearance. Then why does she require all the extra filters? Why does she need to be edited 24/7 if she's so impressed with herself?
She can't even shop without getting on a cart. I mean, that to me would probably be my breaking point. If I could not shop because of my weight, I think I'd be like, okay, I need to do something. And
That should
instead,
be a wake up call.
it really should. But instead, she's like, well, it's my lungs and I was born with it. My aunt has it. So there, no, that is not true. It's because of your weight.
Mm. She's actively avoiding things to improve her health, walking around, standing up in the kitchen, going up and down. She's got stairs. She has internal stairs. That is like she could be going up and down that 2 trips, wait half an hour, 2 trips, half an hour. Like she's avoiding the physical activity that's going to improve her health and her back and her core and her hips and her legs. She's not, she thinks by sitting and resting, because her body feels better, she's actually doing better things for her, but it's actually harming her even more. The reason her back is so bad is because I reckon her back muscles are atrophied from being in that chair.
Yeah.
She doesn't use it. She's lost it. She's losing the ability to move her body.
But I just would be happy. Like, okay, I get you got to focus on one thing at a time. So focus on the mental health first, do that. And then that'll move you into the next direction. But she's doing nothing but gaslighting us and herself. I mean, really, ultimately, she's only hurting herself. And yeah, I know she says, well, why do you care? Because I guess because we are empaths and we do care. I don't know. I do care about people. When I see people doing stuff like this, yeah, I care. And I'm like,
This is my theory, because she's always like, well, why do you watch? Why do you watch? And I'm like, well, I like to watch true crime. Doesn't mean I like to murder.
Bingo.
I'm intrigued. I want to know the details. I want to know how it ends. I want to know who the murderer was. I want to know how they did it. I want to know what their thought processes were. I want to know what's happened to the victim and the victim's family. I'm interested in the story. Doesn't mean I want to go out stabbing people or offing people or doing bad things to people, but I'm intrigued by the true crime. That is why we watch Foodie Beauty. It's intriguing and it's interesting because it's so awful.
Yeah, and somebody in the chat said it, and I do agree. I think one thing she should start doing is stop focusing on her so much and get out. She claims she's this big animal lover, then go and volunteer at a pet shelter. Get out there and do stuff. It would be good content. Plus you're kind of getting out of yourself. She's so focused on herself. Everything is about Chantal. And that's part of it as well. Too much.
I think she'd have to lose some weight before she could even do something like a volunteering, because
Yeah.
there's so much weight on her joints. I don't think she can even handle that kind of activity. She's used to being in her house when she can sit whenever she wants. She pretty much lives in the chair right now. Even being on her feet, like, okay, if you go to volunteer, right, they tell you what you're going to be doing, and you will be on your feet from, I don't know, it could be an hour, 2 hours, 3. Really, it depends on the level, and I'm sure if you do have a schedule, you can tell them. However, you don't go volunteering for just like a half hour or an hour. Like, you're going to be there for a few hours, and she can't even handle walking in the store right now. She would need to lose some weight before really doing everyday regular stuff. I don't think she's up for that.
I think she's got it in her head that she can just have all the excess fat removed, like literally just chopped off.
Well,
she did say that at one point. She said, I'll just chop my fupa off. And I'm like, it's not that simple. Nope. Also, that's a lot more traumatic than she would think it is anyways. Like the recovery and all of that, like that sort of thing actually does take a toll on people.
She wouldn't even be considered for any kind of operation for that in the way that she is. She has to lose a certain amount of weight and maintain it for a certain amount of time before they'd even look at it.
Yes, because it's fat, but there's still blood vessels. So you can't go in and cut it off because you're going to bleed to death. That's why they do it after you lose weight, because then it's dead skin. It's extra skin. It just sags. There's nothing connect. You know what I mean? That's
right. That makes sense.
Do it. Yeah.
And it's one of
if you could do it, we'd all do it. Let's be honest.
Oh my God. Most painful, one of the longest recovery of all surgeries, physicals, not internals like heart and transplant and all, but it is painful, and it is a 6 to 8 week turnaround before you can even get up and start walking around. I've looked into it because that's the position where I'm going to. I'm considering having something like that done, but I've still got weight to lose before I will go and do it, and I have to be looked at. My doctor has to have a record of my weight and how long I've kept it off, and you have to lose a certain amount of BMI points, and your skin needs to be of a certain type and texture, and there's so much more into it. But she thinks, oh yeah, I'll just get it whacked off. I'll just get it chopped off.
And it's weird for her to think like that too, just because it speaks a lot to just how she views things in general. Like, it's kind of like how, money will solve all the problems. I'll just pay for it. Or, her other delusions where she just thinks everything is just kind of like, I'll just take care of this when I feel like it. And it's like, no, you've been doing this lifestyle day in and day out for such a long period of time that it's affected you in a way that's very extreme. Or her, I should say, not you. her Foodie.
He always wants the path of least resistance. Whatever the quickest, fastest, regardless of the consequences, the now solution.
Right.
Yeah, and that's what she wants with Nader. She wants him to say yes now. I don't want you to have time to think about it. I need it now. I want it now. Do it now. It's delayed gratification is her worst enemy. She can't.
She has no patience or coping skills. Oh, I did want to ask y'all what you think about. So she had said that she wanted to get matching apartments with Pete's. Did she renege on that already? Probably. I think she did. But
yeah, she did. It's a no-go now. It's just something to talk about and waste people's time.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense. That's what she does.
Yeah, exactly what she does.
I think it would be better for Pete's to, okay, if we're just talking about Pete's, I do think it would be a better transition. Like, if she's still close, but he had his own place, it would be better for him to, like, just be in his own apartment. Although, yeah, I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, let's be real here.
They'd have to clean, they'd have to pack, they'd have to move, they'd have to make appointments, they'd have to make phone calls, they'd have to sign contracts. It's too much work.
She even said, oh, maybe we'll move to Gatineau, but she was joking. But I was like, girl, you talk crap about where people live and all of this, but you don't live within your means. And really, all that money means nothing because you're spending it anyways. Yeah. And she has nothing to show for, so she can judge where people live all she wants, but she doesn't have anything. It doesn't matter that she thinks she's got more than other people, because she doesn't. I have more of a savings than she does. I hardly make anything. But it's a priority of mine to have a little bit of something for a rainy day. And it's helped me throughout my whole adult life. I've always had, even if all I could have was 500 extra, or usually I like to have $1,000, but sometimes it doesn't work like that. But anyways, usually I'll take, say when you get your income tax or whatever, I take most of that and have that put aside. I don't make enough that I can have a big savings, but I try to do what I can because it's a priority for me. And I know I've needed it in the past.
She doesn't feel like she needs to have a safety net because her family have always swooped in and rescued her, clearly. Yeah. People who have no safety net or resource or family that's in a position to do that always have that little bit of an underlying anxiety that you need to create your own safety.
Trust, I get that because I very much love my parents, but, they don't have to. I have a big family. They don't have to, they can just do what they can. And they're on their own set paid income because they're older, right? They're an elderly, so they can't really, they have enough that they can get by and do their thing, and that's fine. I don't, I'm not asking them none of that, but I've always had to provide for myself since I became an adult, so I got used to that mindset. But yeah, I am familiar with that anxiety sometimes. That's partly why when she cries about it, it kind of annoys me a little bit, because although I'm not one to say, oh, no one can have problems or, their own their own worries, but at the same time, it's like, it gets on my nerves when she uses it as an excuse to not do anything or change her life in any way. Like, I get anxiety, it doesn't matter because I have to take care of the problems. I can't just worry and do nothing because then I'll be homeless. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, you are put into a position that you have to change those things, but also you get the benefit of when you change it, you gain confidence. You gain that, oh, I did that. I did take care of myself. I did provide for myself. I fixed this problem. And then you start to build that kind of, esteem and confidence
It's
over
resilient.
time.
You have a resilience. You have coping mechanisms. You understand that you can get yourself out of situations. You can struggle through something. That's what makes you grow as a person and gives you that self-confidence, because, problems pop up, I can handle it. I don't think she's had those experiences in her life.
It would make a lot of sense if not, because it seems that, okay, so when her mom, and I do still believe her family did give her money. I did think that she got money in multiple ways. I do think the thing is, if you have someone with substance issues in your family and people wonder, how can I help them? Don't give them money ever. If you really want to help, maybe bring them groceries or something very tangible, but do not give them money, but that showed me right there that her mom, that's what her mom is, her mom swoops in. And we've suspected that anyways, but it was clear that we saw it happen in real time, that she swooped in and gave her money. And her mom knows some things are messed up right now. And obviously she's still going to care about her child, right? I wouldn't expect the mom not to. It was just, here's money for the problem. It was just very much how Chantal uses money. It was kind of like, here you go. I don't know, just an observation.
But parents are easily manipulated by addict children as well. There's the guilt. She was a young, there were mistakes made.
She could lie too.
It's just a bad situation all round, and then you add addiction into it, both food and
they'll say they're not on it anymore.
Messy. Just
I'm
messy.
sure she tells her mom she's not seeing Nader anymore and things like that. I'm sure she lies a lot to her mom, and that's unfortunate as well.
No.
So are they going to live in the villa month to month forever?
I don't know what they're doing, but she should make a game plan to fix your credit. Incorporate, like you said you were, but you weren't, because I checked recently again and she's still a sole proprietorship. Incorporate so that it looks better when when you're trying to get a mortgage, that you are working for a company rather than working for yourself. That's one of the tricks that a lot of people do. She could do a lot of those things. Yeah, she could put herself as manager of the Beezer show, or she's like a content manager for whatever company she incorporates for, and that looks a lot better than YouTuber.
I see. Yes, because I have heard it's hard for YouTubers to get. I don't know if this is true. I was going to run it by you if you've heard about this, Monty, but I have heard it's hard for YouTubers kind of like get mortgages because of I didn't know why.
Because of the uncertainty, right? Like when you work for yourself, there's a lot of uncertainty that comes with that. And when there's uncertainty, a lot of companies are like, we're just gonna pass on that.
They don't want to take the chance, basically.
Cash. Yeah. Well, she needs to save her cash.
Yeah, but if she made a substantial enough down payment on a house, let's say that $300K quote unquote she makes in a year, if she put up $50K down payment, that's a different story. Then they're looking at you like, you can afford this place because you just gave us $50,000 to put down on a place. Like they say, money talks, bullshit walks, right? So there's a lot of ways. How and why did Carly Steele get her house?
Right.
She probably saved up.
Yeah, exactly.
She probably saved up. And I think I think she does seem smart enough that she would put her thing under a business. I don't know, but the way she runs her channel and the way she has a couples channel with her boyfriend.
Yeah,
she has her own channel. She has her OF. She has merch and things set up that I would think she would have something in place like that.
I mean, her merch stream, you just redirect that in, that's your mortgage paid. Like, it's not hard to manage your money nowadays. There are so many ways to passively pay bills, passively have direct debits. There's no reason that nobody has to walk into the post office with their $50 for their telephone bill over the counter anymore. You don't do that. You have so hands off, hands free setup. I can't remember the last time I paid a paper bill. It's all prepaid. It's all
Yeah, I do a lot on my online
if
as my
anything
bill.
happens to me, I lose my job. My bills are a year ahead, just in case. Just in case. In case I decide to quit my job and I need to go and find someone, I've got a couple of months room there to find something. Like, I don't know how you can't be set up like an adult. Like, she lives like she's just moved out of home and got her first paycheck.
I lived smarter than she does when I moved out and had my first paycheck.
Just, no insult to the young ones, but you'll learn
No,
how
but I know exactly what you're saying because I had friends that did things like she did, and I was looking at them like, girl, are you crazy? Yeah.
I just think of all the things that I could be doing with that money for the little amount of work that she does. I just would be thinking I could be buying property. I could be traveling. I could be helping charities. I could be putting money away for my mother. I could be 100% debt free. Like, it baffles me. I could live off I live off a third of what she does. Pay for a mortgage, put money away, travel, pay my bills, and that's on a third of what she makes. I just can't imagine what I would be doing, having so much fun with the other 70% of it.
I know I'd help my parents out and I would have them set. I'd have myself set. I would help my parents. I'd have money aside so when they get even older that I have money that they can be taken care of in home. Like there is so much I would put forth as well. I have a couple family members I would like to return the favor and help out. Get them back for when they help, when a couple of them gave me a place to stay for a couple months or whatever, when I'm in between a lease or something. I had a family member do that. I would love to get them back, but also just, it'd be nice to just I would set things up as well. So, but she doesn't even do short-term planning. That's the weirdest thing. Cause I'm not somebody that'll plan like really far in the future because for me, my life has been kind of chaotic. So it's kind of like, I do like to plan, but I like to set goals that are like in the near future, but I still set those, right? Like I still set things that are in the near future to secure myself, but she doesn't even have short-sighted goals. She doesn't even have like goals that for the foreseeable future. She doesn't know how. She doesn't do it ever. And it's just interesting. I've just never seen, because I do like to live in the moment. I can be a spontaneous personality, but I've learned with, the kind of life that I have, I need to, I don't have a choice. I had to learn these skills. And if I can do it, I don't know how somebody else cannot adapt at all. But I guess it's just, I'm never going to understand it. I don't know. It's just.
Well, I think a lot of her money is going, we know the one thing, and I think she's paying for these men. I really do believe that this is being paid for. Plus, we know she really got herself in deep monetary doo-doo dating Natter because she did admit, like, he was gambling her money away.
For sure.
I would love
like
to. I would love to take the moment to say I called it. Sorry.
Yep.
I said it months ago.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. For some reason, I remembered that, certain things slip through the cracks. That's why we need each other to fill in the different things. Because there's things that slip through my mind. But for some reason, I held on to that one.
And she was so oblivious to the whole pitfalls of gambling. Like, she was like, oh, yeah, we went to the casino and we got all this money. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she was talking about it like a teenager.
Yeah, like you just go to the casino and make all this money every single time, and that's how life works.
She was just happy to be out and about in the world on Nader's arm. She was just happy to be somewhere. But then they sat at home and played on the casino. I couldn't even find anything more boring than to sit there and look at a man just gambling away my
I would lose
my money
it.
that I got from YouTube.
I couldn't handle that. I would lose it. There's no way I could watch somebody just ching, like, oh my God.
No. And then get mad at me because he lost it, and then you start yelling at me because you lost the money.
Oh no.
No. I'd be like, yoink, I'm taking that device away from you. You're cut off. No more money for you, little one. No.
Little one.
Mummy says no. No more internet for today. You're banned.
Yeah, she spoiled the sons too much.
Yeah. But then the dynamic with Dee Dee is so different. Doesn't it seem so different between those two?
It just shows a lot, though, if you...
Yeah.
It shows a lot. But I think it's because Dee Dee, even though she is she's a more quiet personality, she really isn't that quiet. I think a lot of it had to do with her job, allegedly. I think we're seeing more of her personality now because she doesn't have that restriction, because she will speak up. I mean, she's not like the way Chantel is. But I think, yeah, their personalities just get along a little better, I think, overall with Dee Dee and Nader. Because Chantel and Nader butt heads all the time.
Dee Dee holds the line. That's what Chantal could never do. Right. She would say it. Nader would call the bluff. Dee Dee would hold strong. She's taught him how to treat her. Chantal taught him as well. They're just very different ways. Chantal is weak. Dee Dee has some core strength. Now, I don't like Dee Dee. I think she's
I don't either, but yeah.
She's the overlord of all of this. She controls Nader. Nader tries to control Chantal. Chantal controls nothing. That is what Chantal makes us angry. It's like, how come Dee Dee can make him do this or say this or act this way and I could never? It's because Dee Dee has respect from Nader. Dee Dee will be like, you don't treat me like this, you can get out, and I can make you get out because you weigh $150 dripping wet. I can't physically intimidate me because I can hold myself against Nader, except with me in the kitchen. But, you know, like Dee Dee is very different dynamic with him. And drives Chantal crazy.
It's very interesting, but it is true, though. You do show people how to treat you if you command respect. If you do have actual boundaries, not fake ones like Chantel thinks she has now that she magically got in a day. If you hold your what do you call it? You stand firm in whatever you are about, then you're gonna get a different result from people. And especially, I mean, he's still a shady individual. However, we do see a different dynamic because he knows Dee Dee will follow through. It's kind of like the parent that always says to the kid, you're going to be grounded, and they never do. Well, the kid walks over them. So it's like he knows that she'll actually do it. She'll drop him. But they do seem to have more fun in general. Not all the time, but they seem to have more of a similar sense of humor. I mean, Dee Dee and Nader do, at least generally.
Not to change the subject, but did anybody watch, I think, was it yesterday, where he burnt was it shrimp? Right? Did anybody, it was hysterical. The fire alarm starts going off, and then he's yelling at Dee Dee about the fire alarm. He's blaming the fire alarm, saying that he goes, no, it's not in here. It's not the shrimp. But then he brings it out, and it's like burnt to a crisp. And he's like, no, this is the way I like it. This is the way I like it.
I didn't
watch through the Mary Cab videos because she does such a good job. I literally can't watch him raw dogging it. I can't. He triggers my body. He makes me tingle. I get tight in the chest. I just want to yell and throw things because he is just the epitome of the exact type of man that I was so afraid that I would end up with as an adult. He is the vilest of the most disgusting, lowest man that I can't handle him. I can't see his face. I can't hear his voice. I have to have him so deeply filtered and in a humorous way. I can't deal with Nader. He is disgusting.
Yeah, we need a channel that's kind of like Piggy does do, sometimes Piggy will do Nader edits, but there's a channel called Pushin' Pete's that does Pete's edits now, and we kind of need one like that for Nader and Dee Dee. I think that'd be nice because I do like to know when something funny does happen, but I don't want to watch all the crap. And I do watch Mary Cat, but she can't always, she's got a life to live, so she can't, she can't always do the video. But
I want to you know how we've got mode translates for Nader because we need subs, right? And that's just a fact. We sometimes you need subs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want a true translator for Chantal. For example, maybe Erie could do this. When she says, "Oh, I'm going on a trip," subtitle, "I'm never going on a trip." What she actually means when she says it, like, "Oh, I lost weight. I gorged yesterday. I've tripped the scales." Like true Chantal speak. I would love a full 5-minute clip of just it being translated into Chantal truth. Wouldn't that be cool?
I think that'd be fun. I think that'd be really cool. That'd be hilarious too.
And then the cats in the background saying what they really think when she's talking to them, like, "Ooh, Bobby Yoosh," and he's like, "Don't touch me," that kind of stuff. Leave me alone. I'm chilling. I think that would be hilarious.
That would be good.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd watch it. That would be funny.
I want to steal Sam. Sam is the cutest baby. I think I moo and ma over him every time he comes on, but his pink little nose and his grey little white face, and he's so freaking cute. And her cats are a gold mine that she's not cashing in on either. I know that's gross, but if she did videos where they were playing and interacting, giving them new things, checking them out, doing a voiceover dub or something like that, that would be stuff people would watch. They would watch
grooming them, even grooming them and doing what she's supposed to do with them would be,
merch. People would buy shirts with Sam's big old face on it. Isosceles triangle Sam. People would buy that. The cats are the best part of her channel, and she doesn't do anything with that.
Yeah, as much as she uses cat deflection, she doesn't use them in a way that would actually be any positive reinforcement.
Positive for them and positive for the cats. Positive for her and positive for the cats because they're getting played with. They're getting stimulation, interaction, better diet.
Groomed for God's sake, too.
She infuriated me. Somebody reminded her, you still haven't brought the cats to get groomed. And she was like, I know, and I will. She's like, but right now I got to focus on myself. No.
What?
When you take the responsibility of having a pet, it's just like a child. They need to come first. I'm sorry. Then you need to give that cat up. If your mental health is that bad that you cannot be taking care of your cats, then you need to rehome them. That is abusive, and that is not being a responsible pet owner. And I'm that might sound harsh. I get that her mental health is important. Then don't have cats. That is ridiculous.
Yeah, I think you're right on that. I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I grew up with dogs. I'm very much a dog person. But right now I have a lot of things that I'm taking care of. And I work so much that it wouldn't be that fun of a life for a dog. Even though I'd want a smaller one, they still need exercise. And it just wouldn't be a good idea. Now I want to get to that I can, but I'm not going to be selfish and get a dog and have him sitting at home when I'm working the hours that I'm working. It just would not be good for them. So I'm not doing it. But that's the thing. She doesn't make any adult decisions. I can't even recall the last time I've seen her make an adult decision, because even the BB thing, he made that decision. She likes to react.
Exactly.
But how does she focus on herself? Does she just sit around in the kitchen and think about all the things that are Chantal? Or is focusing on yourself taking care of all the loose ends in your life that need to be taken care of? Isn't that all part of preparing for mental health richness? Like making sure your bills are paid, making sure you've got good food in the house, coming up with some kind of schedule. Focusing on yourself is focusing on all the working parts and getting them in sync. It's literally not just sitting in your scroller, eating a nashies, moaning about your boyfriend, not boyfriend. That's not focusing on yourself. That's focusing on your problems.
Even moving into the villa from the beginning, would she really have done it if she didn't have Pete as a crutch? I don't know. Really, because she doesn't want to live alone. She moved into the villa, she got Pete, she made it sound, and this is what manipulators do, she made it sound to Pete's like, I'm doing you a favor. Meanwhile, he was always going to be the fetch boy for her. That was his. And initially, she knew already what role he's gonna have. And when you see like when I see 600-pound life, I'm always like, how do they get these people roped in to just, they become a vessel to give these people what they want day in and day out. And that is so sad, because it's not only the person's life that is waste, but it's also the enabler's life is going to waste, as far as waste is in the potential, your life becomes just empty and just it's crazy. But they always have a partner. Notice they always have a person there, and it's usually a significant other who they treat poorly. Well,
it's teaching someone how to treat you. It's an abusive cycle, and I'm not saying every relationship like that is abusive, but there is a dynamic there that creates, like, if you don't get me what I want, I'm going to kick off. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say that. I'm going to hurt you in a way until I get what I want. It's the same addict mindset. It's the same behaviors, because the thing that they need is not going to be there. So then they need to do whatever it is, push the right buttons to get what they want. So they make the situation so bad that it's like, it's not even worth the argument. I'm just going to go ahead and do it and get it. And it's hard when you're looking from the outside. It's like, but they can't physically do anything to you. That's not the only way to abuse and hurt someone, is by physicality.
Yes, true. I always just want to scream at the screen, like, just run away. They can't, it's not like they can run after you. Just get out of there. So I don't really watch that show because it's so depressing for me to watch. Like, I don't know. It's so sad to see. But, I know sometimes they get some progress, but it's like, ugh, I don't know. It's just sad to see how far it goes,
Yeah. It has to get bad to change. Unfortunately, if you're in a comfortable place, you never want to change anything, but you're comfortable in the discomfort. That's the problem with that, is you just grow into it. And then it gets to a point where something bad, or it's going to get bad, and then you make a change, but it's already bad. Nobody changes from a good place.
But she's never going to change, because even like with everything with Natter, she goes in on Natter. She's trying to understand who Natter is instead of trying to understand who she is and why she fell for him. There's no self-reflection on her end at all. Like, we've all been in bad relationships. I mean, we all have. And one of the things, you're going to be mad at the person. You're going to say, but then you really have to look at yourself and say, why did I choose that person? What do I have to fix about myself so I don't choose that type of person again? And she has not done that at all. All she's done is call him a narcissist, and it's all about him and Dee Dee. There's been no self-reflection on her end at all.
Yeah, breakups can be a gift, really, if you use it in that way. Breakups can be a gift to you that you learn from I've learned a lot from every breakup I've ever had. And it becomes a gift that you take with you, even the negative ones, when you when you have that, what do they call it? Yeah, when you have that perspective where you can say, what do I need to do? And if you actually do change things, even if you don't get to the level you think you will, if you're working at it every day, the improvement is going to change your life. And it can be better for whenever you meet someone later. But when you're changing your life, you're going to attract better people too. And I don't think she thinks about anything like that.
No, because it's all not. She thinks this whole relationship failed because of Natter. She doesn't look. And again, I'm not defending him, but my point is, you do have to look at yourself and say, why did I choose that person? What's wrong with me that this is what I was looking for, or that this is what I attracted?
Or even just what you would settle with too.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people aren't actively seeking that type of person necessarily, but they have low self-esteem, they have low standards, they don't value certain things, they don't have boundaries, so they are going to attract worse people even though they're not actively doing it. It's more like a subconscious thing. And I don't know if any of you know the channel Psychology in Seattle, but he talks about marriage and family. He's a marriage and family therapist, but he talks about all kinds of relationships. It's just where most of his training was at. But he talks about just relationships in general, and family and relationships with couples. But he always talks about that, where if you've had a past with certain things, you might subconsciously seek it out because it's comfortable to you, but you don't even know that you're doing it. That's why it's good to repair traumas and damage from certain things before getting, before seeking that sort of thing, because you're not actively seeking negative things, or you don't think you are, but sometimes it's like how she doesn't see red flags, in a basic way to put it, is she doesn't really see warning signs or red flags because she's gotten so comfortable with those kind of things. When they should be, she should be like, run, but she doesn't.
No, she runs into it.
She runs really straight into it. It's crazy to me. It's wild.
It's passion. It's the fire. It's the zest. Where the rest of us are thinking, no, my intuition, my brain is ticking over that's there's something a little off there. There's something a little not right. Maybe I need to just investigate that. That could me just being reactive, but it's enough that you are focused on, maybe I just need to be a little bit wary. Maybe I need to just investigate this a little bit more. She's like, nah, he's into me. He totally digs me.
Well, and she's to it. When she talks about these men, well, we all know it's not real, but when she creates these scenarios with these men, it's like she'll literally like talk to them for a day, and then she acts like she knows them, or she acts like, like she knows their character. It's like, if I talk to someone for a day, that's a stranger. Even if we're getting along, that's a stranger. That's a wait and see. That is not I know this person. They're my boyfriend. They're,
This is where I think it's so hilarious. She thinks all men from one nationality are one personality type. Men are not their nationalities. They are all different flavors and types of people. That's my biggest issue. Says this Moroccan guy, so all men from Morocco are like this. It's like, no, they are all different.
Right. She loves to put people in categories and boxes.
Yeah. And the other thing she says is that, oh, they're so nice. He's so polite and so respectful. I'm like, every person and every man, when you first start to date them, are putting on their best face because they want to impress you. They want you to like them, or they want to engage with you. Nobody is going to be their real raw self until they're comfortable and they get to know you and they trust you. Serial killers are good at their job because they make people trust them, because they are nice, because they can fake being good. It is not because they are nice, it's because they can reel you in.
Right.
That's this. Everybody's nice when you first meet them. No one's going to be an idiot to you straight away.
Does she not understand that? I wonder.
They let it. Oh, she lets me get away with this. She lets me get away with that. This is what's allowed. This she doesn't. Oh, I can cross this line. That's where she doesn't have that maturity or that emotional elasticity to be able to recognize the red flags and hold her line and say, no, you don't talk to me. You don't use that tone. No, I'd like to do this instead. She doesn't have that. That's why men treat her that way.
Yes. And she picks the baseline for them isn't great to begin with. And then she does this all along as well. So it's like, it's not a good setup to begin with either, because she literally, her baseline for if they'll take her is, or if she'll be with them, is if they'll be with her, as long as they're skinny and they're not white. That's her thing. She doesn't care, like, are they compatible? What's their life like? What are their, how do they want, what are their, what's their morals? What's their beliefs? How they see the world, There's none of that with her. There's no exploring. It's all just, this one talked to me. He's my boyfriend. Like, who talks like that if they're not a preteen or something? Like, who talks that way? It's.
I remember being 16 and sitting around with my girlfriends going, oh, I like a guy when he wears his suit and he's got to have blue eyes and blonde hair, but tall and have abs. Now, when I started dating my husband, I had narrowed it down to mammal and must have all of his own teeth and employed. They were my 3 prerequisites. And I got all of them. Yay me.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
What you change?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's like, it matters that somebody is like a productive individual that's like a decent person that has, yeah, like they have their ducks in a row. They have a place that they're living that's stable. They have a job that's stable. They treat people well. They care about their family. Even if their family's not in good standing, they still value those kind of things that go into that, I suppose. And just like, you know, they care about animals, and like there's certain things that I like. It's not bad to have like certain things in your mind that you're, but there's a difference between like overshooting and just having things. I don't know if I'm making sense. Like I do have a list, but it's not long, and it's not impossible, you know, but I care about how
It
somebody
changes
treats people, you
from
know.
the physicality to the personality and the character.
Oh,
That's
yes.
the maturity of it. We stop
Yeah.
focusing on the casing and we start thinking of what's about the meat on the inside.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. As I've gotten
Meat.
older, I care about
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And
When you're
if
younger, you're like, he's hot. He's got, you know, yeah.
he's hot and he has a job. He's hot and he's nice to his friends and family. I'm winning. You know, he's hot and it's the and that's the part that captures you, not the hot. Hot gets boring.
Well, everyone, I mean, looks fade. I mean, yes, if you love someone, you're going to see them as beautiful anyway. It's not going to matter, right? But there's a reason why there's things like that, because yes, what's in the inside is what matters the most. She's a very selfish, shallow person, but that's her own. I mean, that's her choosing. I'm not trying to be rude here, but she definitely is. She's so surface level. When she shared, I don't know if these were real anyways, but when she talked about the text between her and what was the dude's name anymore? I don't even know.
Was it Uzi?
Something or Uzi or something. It was like kids talking. Well, overly, you know, overly whatever. But the way they were talking was so like, I don't know. It was strange. It would never fulfill me. I have to have my mind stimulated as well. I can't just
Exactly.
like maybe I'm just that kind of person. I need to have more. So seeing their texts made me laugh a lot, because how is this what you're bragging about? How is this fulfilling you? But it's not. That's why she's so angry. We all were saying it, right? That day when she supposedly had him over and she shared the picture of the guy's arm around her. And then what did she do? She was freaking out about Natter downstairs in the kitchen while he's asleep. Like, also, who does that? Like, you're acting like, oh, this guy likes me and this and this and bragging the day before, but then who are you talking about in the kitchen? Like, why even have the guy upstairs then? You're not ready. Don't date anybody. You don't have to date anybody. Your life doesn't have to look like, it doesn't matter what age you are in being single. I think she's very tied up in that concept. You know, she's very tied up in, oh, I can't, you know, I'm this age, I'm not with anyone. And it seems to really bother her when she talks like that.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if Chantel survives, and that's a big if because she's not taking care of her health. What will she do when she looks back on this like 5 years, 10 years later? That's going to be extremely interesting to see. You know when some people look back and they tell you all about the good times they had, and they wish they had done things differently, spent the money differently, gotten a house instead of getting fancy cars,
That's true.
overspending on jewelry, things that don't matter. Yeah,
That's
I always
true.
see that. I should also state that I want to also wrap this up because my mother, she passed at 6:30, so I wanted to get off and take a moment for her and
Yeah.
respect that it's been a week since she passed. And I'd just like to thank everybody, your prayers, everybody sending me anything through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you so, so, so much. I really appreciate each and every one of you that has been by there. People lighting candles right now for that 6:30 timeline for my mom passing away, because it's now been a week. And I'm still planning. There's so much to do. I'm exhausted, but I'm still here and I'll be back. Maybe do a video, maybe do a live stream later. Still working on the funeral program. And thank you so much, everybody. YTR, thank you for being on the panel. Appreciate you. Perfectly Imperfect, the White Cookie, Skinny Queen. Thank you, everybody. Anybody has any final words or thoughts to say?
I really hope that all the planning and everything comes off just as you want it to be, because I hope you've put so much work into it. Clearly, I'm so sorry that you're going through such a hard time, but I know that all of us are going to be here for you when you need us, or when you want us to just go away and give you a break. You just do what you need to do. And I'm going to be sending out thoughts and good vibes for all those people who are going through something today. So I'm going to be sending out all that good energy. And Chantel, you can kiss my big fat fupa balls.
All right. Thank you so much. I
Okay.
appreciate everybody. Have a good one.
Thank you.
And take
Goodbye,
care.
guys.
Bye-bye.